What are you doing? How long do you plan on living off of mom and dad? Hurry up and go get a job. Try and look at it from a parent's view. Show some compassion. Huh? What's going on, May? You're a full-grown adult? Why are you still living with mom and dad like you're in high school? No job, lazing around the house all day, sponging off of your own parents. I just can't believe you. Are you not embarrassed about how you're acting? May, slow down a minute. What are you talking about all of a sudden? No job, lazing around the house all day. You're not making much sense here. What are you talking about? Mom already told me everything. She said that you quit your job, which is why for the past 6 months you've been cooped up in your room, just living like some hermit in your room. What? She said that I quit my job. That's news to me. But worst of all, even though you've been living off of mom and dad for 6 months, you have the disrespect to ask them for spending money? Amy, you have become so shameless that it's making me cry. You are an adult. How is it that you have no shame in causing so much trouble for mom and dad? May, I think you've gotten a bit confused. Just calm down and listen to me. I haven't quit my job, and I'm in no way jobless. Also, I have never asked for any spending money from mom and dad while I've been here. Stop lying to me. Like I said, mom has already told me everything. She let me know exactly how lazy of a person you've been being. Mom is even saying that she's at her wit's end and living with you has become something that she dreads. She was even crying to me on the phone, just because she's become completely helpless trying to put up with you. What is going on here? You get it? This is your final warning, Amy. If you think you're going to be able to get away with living off of mom and dad's good graces, you've got another thing coming. It's supposed to be your job as the older sister to help mom and dad, but if you've become such a leech, I have no choice but to fill your shoes. I'm not going to let you just continue doing whatever you want, just lazing around the house. May, I literally have no idea what you're going on about. I haven't done anything wrong. I think you're just getting really confused. Hurry up and find a job. Not facing the reality of what you've been doing makes you only look worse. You're pushing 30 and you're still living off of your parents? Please, for the love of God, have some shame, Amy. Mom, what do you think you're doing? You've been telling May that I'm some jobless has-been living off of you and Dad. Why did you tell her such lies? What are you talking about, Amy? I didn't tell any lies to May at all. It's true that you're jobless, isn't it? From morning to night, you're cooped up in your room. You don't go anywhere, especially not to some job that you say you have. When that is all you do every day, how do you expect me to believe that you have some job? I distinctly remember telling you that my job started doing remote work. There isn't some need for a commute as my job allows me to just work from my computer. That whole from morning to night being cooped up in my room thing, that's because I'm busy doing my job. Now you're just trying to make up excuses. You've been doing well fooling your father and me with such nonsense, even though you were actually let go when your company got downsized. I already know everything about what happened. I know all about the lies you've been telling us. What? Me getting laid off? What are you talking about? Yes, exactly. I know all about it. I know how the truth is that you haven't been actually doing this remote work, but were in fact fired from your company. I heard all about it from people around the neighborhood. How there was a large-scale restructuring of your company 6 months ago, and that there were a ton of layoffs of people throughout the company. Exactly the time that you started staying in your room all day, every day. It makes perfect sense. You were one of the people that were laid off. Wait, so that's the reason why you think that I lost my job? You think that I've been hiding out in my room for the past 6 months because I lost my job? What else could it be, Amy? Thinking about the timing as well as your behavior, there's no other explanation. These types of things aren't just coincidences. Now, Amy, hurry up and spill the truth. Tell me what you've truly been doing this whole time. All that stuff about remote work and working from your room was just a big lie, right?
You were actually let go and have been jobless this whole time, haven't you?
Mom, you've got everything all wrong. There was a restructure of the company a while back, and even quite a few people were laid off, but that was a completely different department. My department hasn't seen anyone quit their jobs, let alone get fired.
A different department?
Yeah, a different department. During that time, our department saw the restructuring as an opportunity to rethink how people actually work, which is why the timing is around the same for when remote work was introduced.
Then why is it that you're stealing money from me and your father every month? It's because you've actually been without a job and have no money, right? It doesn't matter how good you are at lying and trying to get away with things. You aren't gonna fool me so easily with your lies.
Could you not frame it as me stealing from you? I'm just having you return the money that I lent to you from before.
What?
You said you'd start to pay me back, but never actually did. Now, since I've been at home all day lately, I found out that you tend to skip work quite a bit. I also figured out that Dad seems to buy random things he doesn't need, even though he retired and is living off of his pension. Seeing all that, I decided to just suck it up and take it back little by little. I was more than content with only getting back about $300 a month until I was paid back in full.
What are you talking about, Amy? What do you mean the money you lent us? You mean to say that money wasn't something you gave to help us out? Who only loans money to their family? It's family. You shouldn't expect them to give the money back.
What?
You don't give your family loans. You give them gifts. But you've been selfishly collecting money like you're some loan shark. That is another one of your lies to cover up your anxiety of having no money because you don't have a job, isn't it? It's also why you're getting your own mother and father involved in your money troubles, right?
You're being way too rash in your way of thinking, Mom. More than that, you're getting May confused saying that I'm demanding spending money when you're just repaying the money I lent you. Could you stop acting like you're some victim here?
Shut up, Amy! Stop with your lies and stop involving your own parents in your money troubles. Stop lazing around and go find a job. Why do you think that we put you through college? Just so that you could laze around the house all day making lies. Get your act together, Amy.
Mom!
Ever since you were young, all you could do was study. You never actually went out and applied yourself to anything that mattered. I always thought that when you got that job at the company after we put you through college, that I would at least get my return from investing in your childhood. But in the end, all that happened was that you got fired and became some shut-in in our house while you leeched off your father and me. We never should have agreed to put you through college when you begged for it all those years ago.
Well, I do appreciate you letting me go to college, even though you were never one to believe in higher education. But that's exactly why even when I was looking for a job, I ended up paying as much as I did for rent and other things while living at home. Like, you remember about the bonus that I got from work, right? How I ended up giving it all to you guys just to help repay the school fees you helped me with. I did all that, so why is it that you can say these horrible things to me?
All of that is just things you should be doing anyway. What are you going on about? You just did what you rightfully should have done as a thankful child, but you're acting like what you did was so selfless.
What? Selfless? I didn't say anything like that, did I?
You just did what you were supposed to do, but now you're going on and on about paying back what you're owed. What are you going on about being a jobless has-been, even though we went through the pain and trouble to send you through college? Really, Amy, you've grown into a completely helpless person. You've disappointed your father and me. If I knew this was the person that you would have become, I should have thrown you out as soon as I could. I never should have allowed you to stay in our house, even after you found a job.
Mom, you're being really mean right now. Are you ignoring the time that I got that offer to start working in New York, and you forcefully made me refuse the offer just so that I'd stay at home? You were the one that wouldn't let me leave the house, saying that it was something unforgivable. You have some nerve telling me that you should have thrown me out right away when it's you that's been forcing me to stay around.
Shut up! You've always been a good-for-nothing bookworm. Ever since you were small, you've not done a single thing that was useful, always just studying away and staring at your books. But looking at your little sister, she always cared about her appearance. She is just the perfect daughter. Even after getting married, she goes out of her way to check up on us and see how we are. Such a caring and amazing daughter. She had even suggested taking me and your father in as guests in their home.
You're right. May has always been quite nice to you guys. But that's obvious, isn't it? When we were young, unlike how you treated me, you and Dad always doted on her in every way possible. The amount of affection that you show towards your child is just the amount of affection that you'll receive later down the road.
Huh! We gave you just as much affection as you deserved. Well, as much as an ugly, fat bookworm of a daughter deserves anyway. As a result, look where you are now. You're a fully grown adult. Don't act like we didn't do anything for you.
I find it amazing that you're able to say all these things to your own flesh and blood. More than that, you're even saying that you gave me some semblance of affection when you were raising me.
If you want more affection from me, stop being so lazy and go find a job. What else can such a lazy, good-for-nothing bookworm like you do? Also, stop asking for money from me and your father. You got that? If you don't, I'll be kicking you out onto the streets.
About now, I'm guessing that you're getting quite the shock? How does it feel to come back to a completely empty house?
Well, feelings or anything, I just really don't understand what's going on.
Do you have some idea what's going on, May? The locks have been changed and I can't get into the house. Even my stuff is just splayed out all on the porch. We ended up selling the house. So Amy, from now on, you can no longer live off of our parents in our family home. If you don't find a job soon, you'll end up going homeless and living on the streets soon.
You sold the family home. Then what about Mom and Dad? What are they gonna do?
They don't have a place to live either, do they? Nothing to fear. Mom and Dad are going to be living with me from now on, which is why you're going to become homeless all by your lonesome.
What are you talking about, May?
Mom and Dad are saying that they don't want to be taking care of some jobless daughter anymore. It's actually the perfect timing. I just bought my new house. It's a nice house that was actually built for having 2 families living in it at once. It's big and has enough room for everyone.
A duplex. Why wasn't I told anything about this?
I wasn't told anything, and suddenly I'm without a home to sleep in? Of course you weren't told anything. It was purposefully kept a secret from you. This is all in order to get you to get out of the house and to stop your parasitic ways. As you may have guessed, there is no way that I'll be letting you live with us as well.
Huh?
Who wants to live with a jobless has-been like you? Go ahead and live your lonely existence by yourself. You've got some nerve being your age, but still depending so much on your parents.
Hey, May, I've got to set something straight with you. I heard quite a bit about it from Mom, but what she's been telling you has all been either wrong or misunderstandings. For one, I'm not jobless. I'm actually working full-time.
I don't want to hear any lies or excuses from some jobless trash like you. Honestly, I don't really care either way. I've actually been wanting to live with them for a while now. I was actually glad that you became a parasite. It made it that much easier to convince them to come and live with me.
Huh? Really? You've been wanting to live with them?
To be honest, it's more of a financial want to be with them. Homes around this area are actually getting more and more expensive, so they're hard to pay for. And so we were thinking of ways to afford it. But if we start to live with Mom and Dad, they'll be able to help us with the finances, making everything go smoothly. Also, with them living with us, I can have them help with all the chores and raising the child. It's the perfect situation.
For someone who was complaining that I was sponging off of them, you are more than happy to start sponging off whatever you can from them.
Even if I do start getting them to pitch in a little, they're gonna be with your prized daughter's family. They'll be much happier than they were with you. I mean, Mom and Dad have always had me as their favorite.
Sure. By the way, what are Mom and Dad saying about all of this helping around the house stuff? Were they the ones to suggest the whole helping with the bills and raising the kid?
Why would they go out of their way to say something as obvious as that?
What?
We're letting them live with us. Of course they're going to help around the house. They've always been more than willing to give me as much money as I need. Something as small as a loan, they definitely give me with no questions asked.
Yeah, I guess they would do that. For things like your wedding ceremony and honeymoon, Mom was the one who ended up paying for most of it, huh?
Of course. They don't treat me like they treat an unfriendly bookworm like you. They actually care about me. Anyway, good luck with being homeless and all that. Everyone who was living in that house has already moved out, so you, dear jobless sister, are now going to be living all on your own. Good luck living that cardboard lifestyle.
All right. Goodbye, May.
Don't talk to me ever again, okay? Just existing as a jobless parasite is embarrassing enough. I don't want to even associate with someone as worthless as you.
Great. Thanks, May. Well then, have fun looking after our penniless parents.
Huh?
I don't want to be stuck with having to nurse or do any elderly care. So just like you wanted, I'll not be associating with you or them anymore. Make sure to take care of them well.
Wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean that Mom and Dad are penniless? There's no way that's even remotely possible. If they were able to have you as a parasite for so long, then there's no way that they don't have any money. I mean, they even funded the wedding for me and my husband.
Ah, that money. Yeah, if I told you that all that money came from me, what would you do?
You aren't making any sense. Are you talking about the ceremony and the honeymoon?
Yeah, exactly. You were generously gifted a big envelope full of money, weren't you? The truth is, all of that money was stolen from me by our mom.
Huh?
In order to make her not look so bad, I did just say that she had borrowed it from me, though. But what she actually did was force me to give her money in order to pay for your wedding. Since we paid for you to go to college, you're gonna be the one to pay for her wedding. Were the exact words, if I remember correctly.
Are you being serious?
They really are some pretty self-serving parents, aren't they? It's laughable, since when they actually only helped to pay for the first year of college. I actually just got a student loan to take care of all the expenses after that. It's hilarious how much they blame me for their finances, especially when Mom is always skipping work and Dad is always buying things he doesn't need.
Really?
They also never believed me when I started working from home. All I did was ask for her to start paying back the money that she stole to pay for your wedding. But she ended up calling me a jobless good-for-nothing who was begging for spending money, making herself look like the victim to her youngest daughter. I'm seriously getting so fed up with how she's choosing to treat me.
Wait, so you're telling me that you're not actually jobless?
Huh? Someone who decided to cut ties with me is curious about if I have a job or not? Sorry, but I don't have to answer that. But I might as well let you know that I'm going to be pretty busy looking for a house, so let's just end it here. Make sure to take good care of Mom and Dad.
No, wait a second, Amy. Don't just leave it like that. Amy, please.
What?
I wanted Mom and Dad to move in with us because I was expecting that they'd be able to help with the expenses. But you're saying that they have nothing in their bank accounts. We won't be able to afford to live here if that's true. If they don't have any money, there's absolutely no reason for them to be living with us.
Of course there is a reason. You're saving them from their jobless, useless, good-for-nothing bookworm of a daughter. Just that is enough reason for them to come live with you, isn't it?
No, that's not a good enough reason at all.
But you already sold the house, right? Can't you just use the money that you got from the house to help your new home?
Yeah, we could probably do that. But even then, I'm not too sure about what we would do in the future. I thought they had much more money saved up. I mean, they were always so generous to me, and they were even taking care of a jobless daughter for half a year. Like, even if they didn't have much money to spare, I thought they'd at least have a good amount of savings. But you're telling me that they have next to nothing.
Wow. So you're saying that you thought they had a lot more money, but they have next to nothing. That must be pretty shocking. But as we've already cut all ties from each other, that's none of my business. Amy, I'm going to give you a great deal to buy our old house. So go ahead and bring the money in one big lump sum and buy it. Huh? Why do I have to? I already rented an apartment. I don't have any reason to buy a house. Why don't you just leave it up to some realtor to take care of it for you? They aren't getting it to sell, which is why I'm asking you to buy it. Again, Why do I have to buy it? For some reason, our house just isn't selling. We were trying to sell it cheap for $500,000, but no one is coming to buy it. What's worse, we're already trying to sell it cheap, and the realtor is asking us to lower the price even more. For that house, why in the world do you think $500,000 is cheap? For that price, you're just trying to rip off whoever it is willing to buy it. What are you saying? Seriously? The house was built over 30 years ago. Not only that, but the roof and deck are dilapidated. Who in their right mind would think it's that much? There's no way that house is going to sell for $500,000. But the location is amazing. The only thing close is the hospital. Perfect for elderly people, right? But with the lack of students, the school that you have is about to be demolished. Not to mention, it's about a 20-minute drive from anywhere useful. Nowadays, with the location and the condition of that house, there is no one who will buy it for $500,000. But hey, you aren't jobless, but just working from home, right? If you are actually working, wouldn't it be best to just buy the house? If you don't have to worry about any type of commute, it doesn't really matter where you live, right? Like I said, I already rented an apartment. I don't need to buy a house. I'm living in a high-end apartment that I always wanted. Moving from here to the old house again? No thanks. Amy, you're living in a high-end apartment. All by yourself? Just once I wanted to live in a nice place. After I found a job, I actually did want to leave the house, but I was forced to stay. So with this, I'm finally able to realize that dream I had of living in the city. So, you really won't buy the house from us? I'll even give it to you for $200,000. So please, buy the house. It's getting bad here. Could it be because living with your amazing daughter in that large two-family home is a little expensive for you? Since you seem to know already, I'll cut to the chase. I didn't think that we'd have to be dealing with any loans or help with any of the daily bills. But suddenly she's asking for $1,000 a month for rent. We don't have that much money to spare. So please, I'm begging you, Amy, buy our house. I wouldn't want that house if you were selling it for $2, let alone $200,000. Huh? Well, it was good chatting with you. Enjoy living with your beloved daughter. I mean, it's so much better than living with your good-for-nothing bookworm of a daughter, right?
Hurry up and take Mom and Dad back. Living together with them, even when they have no money, it makes no sense. You're living in some fancy high-end apartment now, aren't you? Hurry up and have Mom and Dad live with you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. If they're really that broke, why not just have them get jobs and start earning money? Like a part-time job would be enough, right?
I wanted to, but neither of them are willing to find a job. They're claiming they don't want to get jobs in a place that they don't know. Not only that, even without a job, Mom is asking for money to look after our child. I'm being forced to pay babysitting fees to my own mother.
Why don't you show some generosity and pay them?
What? Why would a mother have her daughter pay to babysit her own grandchild? Why does she have to steal money from us?
Don't say it like that. Just show some filial piety and help them out. But I mean, really, since all of you cut ties with me, you're the only one who can show them some true compassion as a daughter.
Stop playing around with me. Stop using the whole cutting ties thing as a convenient excuse to not help your parents.
Really? Cutting ties is exactly that. Am I wrong?
Shut up, Amy. Cut ties, whatever. Just help us out with the money. If you're not going to bring our parents in, then at least help with some of the expenses.
I'm the one who should be telling you to stop playing around with me. I'm not the one who said to not associate with you ever again. But if this is how it's going to go, I'm just going to delete all ways of contact from you and them. I'll do what you wanted in the beginning and literally cut all ties so you don't have to come in contact with me ever again.
What? Wait, Amy? Are you telling me that you're just running away from this?
Huh. As Mom said, I can only study. I'm a good-for-nothing daughter, right? The way I see it, there's no way that I'm going to be able to actually be any use to you or our parents. So I'll just do the right thing and properly cut all ties. Well, make sure to tell Mom and Dad for me. Goodbye, May. This is all information that I learned after the fact. However, it seems that May had told her husband that our parents would help to pay for the house expenses, which is why he actually agreed to take them in. But in reality, my parents had almost nothing to contribute. Unable to sell the house, our parents were unable to help with daily expenses, let alone have enough to give my sister a loan. When the husband finally caught on to all of this, he became extremely frustrated and lashed out at May, at which point began the big crisis of the beloved daughter being threatened with divorce. With fear of what would happen to themselves if the daughter who they are living with gets a divorce, my mother and father had then started working at a part-time job to prepare for the worst. Ultimately, the husband and his child would live in the too large family townhouse, while the prized daughter is now living with her parents somewhere. My previous family's income is pretty much all going into repaying loans and the sort. But for now, I'm already making plans to get a lawyer, to have a lawyer visit and get them to pay me back for all the money that I lent them. I can't wait to find out what their reaction will be.
Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe.